And the last thing, if you're following along on your outline, is I've never seen a branch disconnect itself from the vine. Just in the same way that we can't graft ourselves in, I've never seen a branch just jump off. And, maybe if it's like an aloe vera plant and it's a strong wind, I could see maybe like a couple of branches coordinating with each other to do a saw action. And here's what Jesus says in verse 6. If a certain one might not have dwelled in me, he is as the branch has been thrown outside without care where he falls. And he has been withered, and they gather them together and throw them in the fire without care where they fall. And that one is consumed by fire. Again, I want you to picture this, and I want you to ask yourself, can you really imagine Jesus saying this to the disciples? After all that he said, to assure them, I have a place for you. I'm going to come, and my Father and I and the Holy Spirit, we're going to make our home in you. We're going to empower you, and whatever you ask in my name, it will be given to you. Oh, and by the way, if you don't produce enough fruit, you're going to get cut off. And I want you to see how graphic this actually is in the original language. This word, cast out, it literally has the connotation, the picture of you kind of just pick it up and you just toss it. And you don't even care where it goes. It's not an intentional, I've placed it here. It's, if Jesus is saying this to the disciples, what he's saying, if he's saying that they are these branches right now, then what he's saying is if you don't produce fruit and you're cut off, then you're thrown in the fire, and there's nothing changing that. But here's what I found, is that what it says is, if a certain one might not have dwelled in me. You could read this like John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he sent his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him will have everlasting life, and they will be saved. You see, he started out talking about every branch in me. But now he's kind of shifted gears, and he says, if a certain one, if somebody might not attach themselves to me, then here's what their end is going to be. And I found another interesting thing as I was reading through the Gospel of John. Here's the same person speaking. It's the same author. And it's the same root word that this came from. And here's what Jesus says. All that the Father gives me shall come to me, and him that comes to me I will in no wise cast out. The truth is that Jesus says that we're sheep, and sheep are prone to wander. That's what sheep do. They stray. And it's the job of the shepherd to keep corralling them back in. It's the job of the shepherd to protect them. It's the job of the shepherd to ensure their safety. And it's the job of the vine dresser to make sure that his branches bear fruit. And why do we bear fruit? Because we're connected to the vine.